Well, not yet so easy. Court does call the case of the people versus Jeffrey Sanders.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Rita, Assistant Prosecuting Attorney. I'm behalf of the people.
And Laura Yagi, Assistant Public Defender, on behalf of Mr. Sanders.
All right. And he's,
So, Your Honor,
go ahead.
was the date and time set for preliminary examination. Before we even got to that point, there was some conversation I had with defense counsel regarding proceeding with this case, and also information I received that there is a CPS investigation. That investigation is based on the reports that defendant has been living with, or at least at the very least staying with the victim in violation of his PPO as well as violation of his bond conditions. I informed counsel of that. I know we had a chambers conference regarding that matter. It was the people's position that we were going to ask for remand to keep him in custody until we could have a bond violation hearing and to adjourn the exam to follow. The victim was not present here this morning, although there was some back and forth about whether or not she was on her way. The victim had expressed great fears about showing up here today and what the defendant would do if he knew that she was going to testify. After our chambers conference, Your Honor, I came out to call the victim. There was some conversation about having the victim appear via Zoom. So Deputy Raymond Hall and I called the victim to have a conversation with her about the possibility of her doing that. During that conversation, towards the end of the conversation, she caught our attention as we were hanging up the phone and said the defendant had been texting her throughout this whole day, essentially, throughout this whole procedure, and that she wanted someone to go look for him because he had texted her that he was going to run. I then left the conference room right away. I informed Public Defender Yagi about what we had learned and was looking for the defendant. My understanding at that point from Ms. Yagi was that defendant was going to go use the restroom. I came out in the hallway. That is what he claimed he was doing. I had Deputy Raymond Hall follow him based on what we had just learned. Next thing I know, I was back in the courtroom. I heard police stop. And when I went out in the hallway, defendant was no longer there. And it was my understanding that he had taken off.
And my understanding with reports from security that he took off, it would be the southern emergency entrance out of this building headed in a southerly direction. Ms. Yagi, anything?
Your Honor, I don't think there is anything I need to add at this point.